Chris Unger here at the depot in Orange, where we're going to take out the old number 4 Curtis, the Offie car that was driven and raced new by Stan Muir in Washington. This would have been 1947 to 1951, but we're taking the car out to loop it up and get it all shaped up. Mike Leach and the famous Wally Pankridge is going to be the driving the car, and we just wanted to give it a little bit of an intro here prior to taking it out on the track. So stand by, you'll see a lot more. We'll get to fire this thing up and see it breathing fire. Thank you.
Okay, Wally, what's your intentions tonight here at the track?
Well, we're just going to see and make sure it runs and it doesn't leak, and you know, we'll run if it runs okay and it isn't leaking, we'll put the hood and the side panels on it. That's the reason the hood and the side panels are off, to just to look for leaks, you know. And then you know, we'll run some laps, but not fast, just around and squeeze the throttle a little bit and see it takes the throttle, and then that way folks know that it does run, and you know, it's an awful pretty car, and you know, everything else is really nice on it. I mean, I've had a couple of friends of mine look at it, and everybody, you know, is really impressed with it.
Yeah, so how long you been doing this racing stuff?
Since 1970. The first year I raced in 1970, I drove a car identical to this. It had a Chevy 2 in it, no roll cage, looked just like this.
Really?
And that year, roll cages were optional. And then the next year, roll cages were mandatory in all of the United States. So then I, you know, started racing with a cage. So I don't think I'd want to, you know, another reason we're not going to go too fast tonight. There's no reason to have the thing, you know, something happen and, you know, have a problem with it. You know, but when you're out there, if it feels good, it's going to be hard not to.
I understand that. You said you've been doing this since 1970.
Yeah.
Was that a full-time job for you, racing?
It was at a certain point in my career. And, you know, when I was younger, and I ran the things called super modifieds, and motors are 24 inches to the left, and, you know, pretty wow factor race cars, and midgets and sprint cars, and won championships in all the things, you know, that I drove. So, you know, I had a good career. I mean, I'd, you know, a couple IndyCar races, but didn't stick, and, you know, had an opportunity at it, and, you know, I've had a lot of fun, and, you know, made a lot of really good friends. In the end, that's what you end up with, is, you know, some memories and all your friends, you know.
Now, I understand you've got a special young lady coming tonight to maybe take a lap in the car.
Yeah, it's up if it runs okay and everything, and everybody agrees with that. Her name's Courtney Crone, and she probably is a gal that can make it into the big time. She has a presence. She's really a good driver. She's won 2 sprint car races. She's only 15 years old now, just turned 15 last week. She's won a couple of Focus midget races, which a Focus car is exactly like a full-size midget. It's a full-size midget that has a Ford Focus motor that actually has more horsepower than that Offenhauser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's won a couple of those races, and she just won her first SCCA Ford Mazda race, her first time out. She really does have some talent, but the main reason she has an opportunity to make it, there's a lot of people with talent, but she has a presence. She's a gal. She's really good marketing-wise, and she has an opportunity.
Okay, and getting back to the car, this is a 110 Offie?
Yeah.
That's 110 horsepower?
Yeah. Well, 110 cubic inches.
Okay.
It probably makes 160 horsepower.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, I see on the side of the car there's a 2 and a 4. That's for the 2-wheel brake or 4-wheel?
Right.
Now, what conditions dictate?
Well, when you run dirt, you run 2-wheel brakes in those days, and you run pavement, you run 4-wheel brakes.
I see.
When you start the car, you put it in 2-wheel brakes, because you slide the back tires for a little while so that it gets some momentum before you let off, so it doesn't want to go chug, and, you know, want to break the rear end or something like that.
Does this car meet all the needs or safety requirements for nostalgia racing?
Yeah, there are no safety requirements in nostalgia racing. No, I mean, these are the way the cars were. It's got way better tires on it than what they did in those days, and yeah, no, I mean, it's a really nice vintage car. I mean, it'd go right now and, you know, run in that WRA outfit and so forth. It's a, you know, it's a really nice race car. And, you know, the brakes work okay. I mean, we found that out in my street, and you know, they got Halibran brakes. Everything on it is period correct. I mean, it's a, you know, and it has some history with with
Yes.
Bob Gregg, who was a significant driver in the Northwest, actually in some national stuff, and won some championships. So it's got some history.
Did you ever run in the Northwest?
Oh yeah, I ran in the Northwest.
All down the West Coast?
Yeah, and well, I ran back east and all the East Coast and all over the country. I raced in New Zealand, and so
Okay, very good.
Unfortunately, I've been around a long time.
All right, now the car tonight has got dirt tires. That would be something we changed for this style of racetrack here.
Well, yeah, but actually in those days they ran dirt tires sometimes on the pavement.
Oh, is that right?
And because they were pretty hard, the tires are pretty hard. You throw them down, they spark. So they're
Okay.
pretty hard compound tires, and that's not really an issue. But yeah, you could get regular slicks, that they would run in those days.
Yeah.
But if you look at some old films and pictures, you'll see guys with some groove tires that they run on the pavement. So, for a nostalgia setup, I mean, you're not supposed to be out there really racing. You're just out there driving around and squeezing the throttle a little bit,
Yeah.
because it is dangerous. I mean, the cars are not safe.
That's right. Okay, I believe that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you for watching, and be sure to visit the depot in the historic C.W. Moss building in Old Town Orange, California.